Hey guys, welcome to another video. My name is Ian. Welcome back to the channel, Ian the Reader. Today I have a book tag for you all, specifically the Would You Rather book tag Impossible edition. This was created by my friend Jake over at The Bookish Drummer, and Stacy, his wife, the chapter Conundrum, tagged me to do this video. So I'm super excited about doing this. I haven't done a book tag in like maybe a year. So I'm super excited about this. I don't think it's going to be as impossible as it claims to be. I think I've got this. I'm pretty confident coming in, so we'll see how that goes. I'm going to tag some people at the end of this video to do this tag. However, if you don't get tagged, consider yourself tagged. If you want to do this video, go for it. And if you don't have a channel, please follow along with me in the comments and answer the questions yourselves. I would love to talk to you guys about these crazy questions here. Without any further ado, let's jump in. Question number 1 is, would you rather only be able to reread your favorite book once every 10 years or be forced to read your least favorite book once a year? This is easy money. So I would definitely say I would choose to reread my favorite book once every 10 years because it says your favorite book. So I could reread the series that I love to read that are not specifically my favorite books, because I love to reread books, but oftentimes it's like my favorite series is like bingeable ones like Dresden Files, the Cradle books, the Cormoran Strike books, things like that, that are a bunch of different volumes but aren't necessarily my favorite. My favorite book of all time is East of Eden, and as much as I adore that book, it's a book that I could definitely see myself only returning to after a significant amount of time, because I feel like it's really impactful and I adore it, but I feel like coming back to it every 10 years would be a really interesting experience, because it would be fascinating to know what certain things and themes and passages strike me more 10 years later than, the first time I read them. And honestly, I have no interest in ever rereading any of the books that I hated, so this is easy. Done. Question number 2 is, would you rather be forced to get rid of all of your books by your favorite author or get rid of your entire library besides your favorite author? So I don't necessarily know that I have a favorite author specifically. I mean, if we talk about like my most read author and my most owned author, it's Stephen King. But quantity over quality, some of my favorite books are by Stephen King, but I wouldn't necessarily say he's my favorite author. That being said, we're gonna go ahead and use him for this prompt because, again, I own a lot of his books and I've read a lot of his books. So with this one, as tough as it is, like, I don't want to get rid of my hardback Stephen King books that I'm slowly collecting, but I also don't want to just have Stephen King books. So I would have to say get rid of my Stephen King books and keep everything else, because I love having a library that is full of like tons of stuff, like fantasy, literary fiction, historical fiction, mystery thrillers. I love having a lot of options. I don't want to just own Stephen King. So done. Boom. Question number 3 is, would you rather only be able to read very short books, less than 300 pages, or very long books, 700 pages? This is easy for me as well. I love a good short book every now and then, but I think if I was to take a look at like my all-time favorite books and the books I most often rate 5 stars, it's the huge long ones that I can just immerse myself in and truly enjoy and live in for a long time. Like, some of my all-time favorite books are 700 pages or longer. So I love a good short book every now and then, but having those worlds to really get lost in, the 700 pagers, I love it so much. Question number 4 is, would you rather your favorite series get a terrible adaptation or never be adapted? This one is easy too. I do not want a terrible adaptation of my favorite book or series, because here's the thing, as much as it would be like, I'd probably find some things to enjoy about that, for a good amount of people, their first and or only exposure to my favorite series would be the adaptation. And so while I might have been able to convince them to read the book or series on their own, once they've seen the terrible adaptation, they're probably going to have no interest in reading the book, and their perspective on the book and series in general will be tainted, and that sounds awful. So I'm going to say never be adapted. No, thank you. Question number 5 is, would you rather an unfinished series have a terrible ending or remain unfinished forever? So this is definitely one of the harder ones here, because I don't like having series that aren't finished, but at the same time, I'm guilty of not finishing series all the time and still loving books a lot in the series. So I think I would probably say remain unfinished, because then I can still have untainted enjoyment of the books that I have read, because I feel like with terrible series enders, it just like kind of has a negative impact on your feelings overall in the series as a whole, and I hate that. So I'm gonna say never end, I guess. I don't feel good about it, but that's what I'm going with. Question number 6 is, would you rather cut your reading time in half or cut your book buying budget in half? Okay, this one's a little tough too because I love book buying. I do, like, especially like bargain books. Like, I love going to thrift stores. I love going to half-price books, clearance sections, looking on Pango, Facebook Marketplace. Like, it's an addiction. It is. But I would have to say cut my book buying budget in half because I love using Libby. I love using my library. And I don't need to spend so much money on books. So yeah, definitely more time to read, less money to spend. Question number 7 is, would you rather be forced to listen to audiobooks at 3 times speed or listen to audiobooks at half-time speed? You're acting as though I don't already listen to audiobooks at 3 times speed. I do. Not all the time, but I typically am comfortable with audiobooks at like a 2.5. And dependent upon the series, I've gotten as high as like 3.25 before. I literally just listened to a whole book series on 3 times speed, and it was very comfortable. Like, some of these readers are like so slow. And so, oh my gosh, having to listen to an audiobook on 0.5 is insane. Like, that is crazy. I can't even, why would you ever do that? 3 times speed you could get used to, but 0.5 speed, what's the point? No, thank you. Question number 8 is, would you rather only be able to read physically or only be able to listen to audiobooks? So here's the thing. I love audiobooks. Most of what I consume are audiobooks, but that's just because, one, it's easier. I have kids, they're young, it's hard to sit down and physically read all the time. But 2, I'm comfortable with that because it's what I've been doing for so long. But I have a hunger within me to physically read more books. So as much as I know it would impact the number of books I finish, I would have to say cut out audiobooks because there's just something so special about picking up a physical book and losing yourself in it. You know, no other focuses. With audiobooks, you do a lot of different stuff while you're listening to them, and I can do that comfortably. But the irreplaceable feeling of having your sole focus be on a book and a story and immersing yourself in that, it's irreplaceable. It truly is. It's wonderful, fantastic, nothing like it. So yeah, bye-bye audiobooks, as much as I support you. All right, question number 9, we're almost finished here, is would you rather be stuck reading a mix of 3 and 4-star books or read a mix of 1 and 5-star books? Whoa, that is actually really hard. Oh, wow. I'm gonna have to go with 1 and 5. Which might be a hot take. I don't know. I feel like some people never give 5 stars, but I love 5-star books. And I do give out 5 stars relatively frequently, not like all the time. I'm not like a constant 5-star, but I do find a good 5-star. And here's the thing, like, if I rate a book 1 star, I kind of like to hate it, if that makes sense. Like, a 2-star, I actually enjoy less in some ways than a 1-star, because if I have a 1-star book, I never, very, very rarely give out 1-star books. I could probably name off the top of my head all of the books I've ever given 1 star to. And there's a certain delight in the hatred, in the fiery passion of dislike. And so I would get some sort of enjoyment out of reading 1-star books, even if it's just laughing at how ridiculous and stupid it is. I would enjoy that to a certain extent. And I would have the glory of 5-star books to love and adore. But with 3 and 4 stars, I feel like I'd constantly be left wanting more. While at least with the 1 and the 5 stars, I'm gonna have a perfect time every once in a while. Yeah, that makes sense to me. All right, question number 2, the final question is, would you rather only watch your favorite booktuber or watch everyone besides your favorite booktuber? As much as it would hurt, I would have to say watch everyone besides my favorite booktuber, because 1, I don't think I have a specific favorite booktuber. At one time I did before I joined BookTube, but that time is gone. I am here on BookTube, and now I just have so many friends here that I love watching their videos. I love commenting. I love engaging with their community, and so I guess there's a loophole there. I don't have a specific favorite booktuber, but if I had to have one and give them up, I would, because I just love getting so many different opinions and so many different takes and perspectives, and finding out about so many different books that I never would have if it weren't for booktubers and their varied tastes. So yeah, I would never watch my favorite booktuber again, whoever that might be, and I'm good with that. Okay, so those are all 10 of the questions for this book tag. I feel pretty good. There were a couple moments there that got a little dicey, but I made it. I'm on the other side, and I feel relieved. I do. Last but certainly not least, I do want to go ahead and tag some people to do this book tag. Like I said, if I don't say your name, go ahead and do it anyway because this was a lot of fun. But I'm going to go ahead and tag Leslie from The Nerdy Narrative, Danielle from Book Kara, and Chris from The Bearded Book Beast. I'm going with those three off the top of my head. I don't think any of them have been tagged before, so hopefully they want to do it. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. But it was fun. Do it. That's it for this video, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Like I said, go ahead and comment your answers down below so we can talk about it and stress over it and just have a good time. I appreciate you guys so much. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!